All right, so part 9 of my dream series from Valentine's Day. All right, I forgot to say this at the end of part 8 too. Good sense mean that there's a gut instinct, a good instinct of positive vibes about a particular person, and it would be the opposite for a distasteful scent or whatever the case may be. All right, so this dream a bit different. This happened real recently. I think it wasn't last night, it was the night before last night. So anyway, it starts off in the mall. Now, I can't tell if I'm actually in the mall with the girl of my dreams, but it feels like it. So all I could see is like what's immediately in front of me. It looks like a mall that I visited in Jersey before too, not too long. As a matter of fact, it was last summer I went out there. I was out there for something. Yeah, I was out there and I stopped by this like soap shop to study the soaps because I was making soaps last summer. So I was doing some research on that too while I was out there in Jersey or whatever. All right, but it might have been that mall, might have not been. I'm not 100% sure. But nonetheless, I know I'm carrying a bag on each hand. I don't know what's in the bag at first. But I could just like feel their presence. Her and her daughter. So skip fast forward, I guess. I just like flew or zoomed into an apartment. Now, I'm sitting at a table in this apartment. Well, first, let me explain what a mall means. The dream of a mall represents your search for acceptable roles, choices, beliefs, and ideas. A time in which you are establishing your identity and making choices that will affect your sense of self. Being in a mall symbolizes decisions or preferences that make you who you are. A mall represents social settings or social development where you are exploring options or decisions about what you want or who you will become. It reflects the manner in which you go about getting what you want in life or choices that define who you are. Okay, granted, I think that's important when it comes to the rest of this dream. I guess to sum that up is I'm trying to figure out the role that I play in this woman's life. I think it's on me. I don't think it's really on her. Why am I saying that? Maybe because I'm having the dream. I'm the one that I truly know is in the mall. I got these bags in my hand. It's like I'm shopping for a particular reason. I could see how it plays a role. I'm just kind of like fearful to even talk about it sometimes. Because the love should just be terrifying me now. I'm not saying I don't love to love. Like, I love to love. I'm a Pisces. You know what I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Stream terrified. Anyway, segue. Listen, right? So also a dream of a mall can show up when you are deciding who you want to date. Oh shit, I overlooked this. Making changes to your lifestyle or experiencing changes in your personality. Yeah, somewhat, a bit, yeah. All right. The stores in a mall symbolizes states of mind with themes that are symbolic based on your feelings or perceptions of those stores. I didn't see not one store. I wasn't in a store. I was just walking through the halls of the mall. Bars are fucking nice. For example, a store such as the Gap, I'm not even going to continue reading that. It doesn't make sense. I didn't see no signs of a store or anything. I didn't even see in the bags while I was walking with the bags. All right, so now we get to this apartment, right, y'all? Now, first thing, before I go into detail, I want to say something about this apartment. This is an apartment that I frequented a little shump back in the days. Not only that, the address of this apartment is identical to my life path number. All right? Okay, so now I got that out of the way. Symbolic. I'm always looking for the symbology in the dreams. In the prophecy, but that is one clue that was definitely made known. Now we're at the table in this apartment. At first I didn't even know I was in this apartment because we just started off at the table, and in my mind it's just another table, But so we're at this table, and Shorty, the girl of my dreams, she's like on that side of the table. I'm on the opposite side of her at the table, and I'm sitting right next to her daughter, who's sitting right next to me, right? So we got a coloring book opened out on the table. And she's like, you want to color with me? You want to color with me? And I'm like, sure, of course, I'll color with you. I'll color with you. Fucking adorable, right? I always say that, right? But I'm serious. I'm dead ass serious. So she's like, you want to color with me? I'm like, you got it. Let's go. Let's do it. So I asked her specifically for the brown crayon. Now, mind you, if you've been following the series, brown is a recurring theme. It's a recurring color in these dreams. Bars because I'm nice, but y'all already know that. So I specifically asked her for the brown crayon, yo. So the color brown, dark brown in a dream represents purging of negative thoughts, emotions, habits, maybe the fear that I have of loving someone or something like that. I guess to the fullest extent, because I'm always like, well, lately just, weaving with it, if I'm even doing that. God, it's just icky just revealing this to y'all. But fuck it, I fucks with y'all like that. Y'all fuck with me like that, so I feel alright. So, some area of your life where you are getting rid of a problem, unpleasant or undesirable situations are being fixed or improved, cleansing of negativity, observing improvements or progress, something you don't need or want to get rid of, feeling better off without something in your life. I don't know, maybe resentment or pain or bitterness. And I can't say that I'm bitter, but I can say that I'm a bit jaded from love. I can say that. I can honestly say that. Bitter, that's just not in my... Sometimes when I explain like situations from dating and relationships, I know I come across sounding bitter. I do. But I'm not. I'm not bitter. Like I'm thankful for my relationships and the experiences that I've had. You know what I mean? But I gotta keep it a beam, B. I'm not gonna hold back. I'm not gonna just dog bitches because of what they put me through or what we put each other through. But at the same time, I'm not gonna. Come on, I gotta keep it a beam with myself and keep it a beam with the people that I speak to. Or otherwise, what's the sense? That's just me though. In my own defense, fuck that. You better defend yourself before somebody. You know what I mean? Shit. But anyway, where was I? Color brown, right? Yeah, I was explaining how the color brown might apply to what it is that I was going through. Negatively, light brown may indicate that you are really sensitive about not being able to get rid of something when you are really motivated to. A strong dislike for needing to stop something, discontinue a bad habit, or fear of a big change. Unpleasant, embarrassing, or dangerous losses. The color light brown is symbolic of a genuine desire to get rid of something negative, good intentions to want to fix a problem or be rid of a problem, feeling optimistic or enthusiastic about getting rid of a problem, problems that feel good getting rid of, feeling good being faster in your life without something. This brown, it wasn't necessarily light and it wasn't necessarily dark. So I guess we're somewhere in the middle with the color brown, all right? Now, crayon has a definition too. The dream of crayons represents issues that you want no responsibility or obligations with. A desire to be carefree. You may want the freedom to do as you please, make mistakes, or experiment without consequences. Crayons may also reflect a lack of concern for what other people think. Now, this has a double-edged sword for me because it could represent that I don't want to take on the obligation of having a likeness for this little girl, or you know what I mean, playing a role, right? Identifying the role that I'm playing in other people's lives, which the moral definition has attached to it. Maybe that's what the brown fear is about too, as well, or maybe trying to rid the negative connotation that comes along with that. Like, what's wrong with that? What would be the issue with that? You know what I'm saying? So this is all intertwining. But with the crayon, it's like, am I ready to take on that type of obligation? And this is going to be very important as the dream transpires. You're going to see why. You're going to hear why. But to have the freedom to do as you please is kind of like, you're going to definitely hear why that's going to raise up in later on in the dream. So just take a mental note of that. Now, positively, crayons symbolize a carefree attitude, open-mindedness, or being imaginative. Negatively, crayons may represent a lack of seriousness, commitment, or sloppiness. All right? Take note of the crayon definition is really deep. Now, Coloring book. To dream of a coloring book represents a goal you are emotionally invested in, something you are trying your best to ensure ends up perfect. And coloring, to dream of coloring a picture in, may reflect feelings about trying to bring meaning, love, or happiness an otherwise empty situation. Happiness to an otherwise empty situation, Trying to make a lifeless or empty situation feel good. Trying to give a situation purpose. Trying to bring something to life. All right. So now we got all those definitions out, right? Back to the dream. So I ask her for the brown crayon. She hands me the brown crayon. She grabs a crayon too. We both start coloring on the same picture, but I start going first, right? And I remember as a kid, I used to, and still when I do color, I think I colored not too long ago, I outline the lines of the picture before I shade in the color. I always believe that it made the picture pop much more. So, but before I started coloring, she had started outlining the picture as I would do when I was a kid. And I was blown away by that shit. I was like, oh shit. And I told her, I was like, I didn't know you outlined the picture before you color it in. She was like, yeah, I do, yeah. And I was like, that's good. I do the same thing. So now we outlining the motherfucking outline of this picture with the crayons and shit, right? We going in. We doing our motherfucking thing. Now, shorty over here, she's hype. I could just feel her face, her eyes on me just beaming. She is fucking glowing ear to ear. She is so fucking happy that this is happening. You understand what I'm saying? So we coloring. That's that part. The next thing I know, right? The dream kind of like shifts. It didn't kind of shift. That shit shifted. Right? I'm no longer at the table. Neither is the girl of my dreams and her daughter. They're gone. At first, I didn't know that they were gone completely. I'm thinking like we in the same apartment. We still in the same vicinity. It's just we moved around now. So I'm laying on the couch. I got on my robe, which is odd about. I slept in my robe that night, but I had on a robe that I used to wear back in the days. It's bugged out. The color of the robe is brown. It's bugged out. That I used to wear when I was in that apartment. But anyway, I'm laying down on the couch. And I'm watching TV, but I'm not. It's like the TV is watching me. But I'm chill. I'm just laid up. You know what I'm saying? Chilling. Now, there's a few people inside of this apartment. People that I hung out with regularly back in the days, too. One of them name is Buddha, which is very important because I had to realize dream after dream after dream. Whenever I see Buddha in my dream, it means like what Buddha means. So the dream of Buddha represents an aspect of yourself that is understanding and compassionate. You are someone else that is being a bigger person. You are someone else that is enlightened. So it's always enlightening when Buddha pops up in a dream. You're supposed to be aware of things to where you take a more gentle approach and not be standoffish. And you understand what I'm saying? You want the peace. You want to bring the peace. So I know that's what it means when Buddha pops up in a dream. So it's her. It's also someone else that I used to hang out with regularly. And it's like a few other people scattered in there. I can't really remember who they were. But now a whole horde of people come into the apartment. And not for nothing, we used to hang heavy back in the day. So this is not something that was unwarranted necessarily or something that was uncommon. You feel me? But I must add this as well. Whenever I was ready to shut the place down, I'd shut it down. Like there'd be no ifs, ands, or maybes. And I'd be like, all right, it's a little bit out of hand now, or it's a little too late now. Everybody got to go home. I'd protect the fort like that. Like, that's how I give it up. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am. But anyway, that was then, this is now. I'm still the same way, though. So, all these people coming, I don't know these motherfucking people, though. You know what I'm saying? These are not people from back in the days or whatever the case may be, but I can tell you this, in my dream, I know all of these motherfuckers. One of them came up to me, one specific dude. He was probably like 6'4", 6'5". Blue navy jacket on. He had one of them, I forget what they call them jackets. It was like a fatigue jacket with the gray hoodie underneath. Not flight, but it was kind of like the flight jackets. It's going to take me too long to describe it, but you're from Brooklyn, you know. So he had one of those on, just regular shit. He comes up to me, gives me £1, gives me £2. You know how sometimes you miss the first pound and then you got to lock in the second one? New York shit. So it was one of those. I just be detailing the fuck out of everything, y'all. So he gives me a pound. I'm like, what up? He's like, what up? What up? Now everybody's calling me my old nickname from back in the days too. Like, so I'm just like, okay, see what's going on here. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I hear Buddha, and she's like uncomfortable. She's saying something like, I don't even like how these motherfuckers is moving in here and this, that, and the third. So when Buddha gets uncomfortable, like Buddha's a Pisces too. Like when Buddha, if something is wrong with Buddha, we go in the back. Like something, I gotta figure it out. What is bothering Buddha? So Buddha's saying what she's saying, and I hear her, and I'm thinking of what I want to say out of my mouth, but I don't say it out of my mouth because I know how that can escalate situations, and that's Buddha. So I'm being very mindful of what Buddha means in the dream. I'm not going to start no shit in here and remind you, I'm not even uncomfortable. The only thing that I start getting uncomfortable about is Buddha saying what she's saying, and me now looking for the girl of my dreams and her daughter. Because I'm having this feeling of, well, it's time to shut it down. There's too many gangsters up in here. This shit got to get shut down. And in the 3D, I don't know y'all. I know y'all here, but I don't know y'all in the motherfucking 3D. So now I'm getting up off of the couch and I'm talking to Buddha, but again, it's in my head. I can hear the audio, but the words are not coming out of my mouth for everyone else to hear. And I'm saying, Buddha, if you know that you feel uncomfortable about something, don't underestimate the power that I have. I can control the situation. And again, the reason why I didn't say this out loud, it's a house full of gangsters, and I don't know these motherfuckers in the 3D. But despite all of that, I was very comfortable. But I'm thinking for other people as well. You understand what I'm saying? You don't know who might be the wild card and just want to say or do something sporadic. So I'm guessing that's why that happened like that in the dream. Like the audio was not loud so people could hear it. Only I could hear it in my head. So I get up and I start walking, and I see someone to my left that I said I regularly grew up with used to hang out with back in the days too. And I'm thinking when I see them, I'm like, yeah, we're definitely safe in here. Like, that's not even a question. Wink, wink. But at the same time, again, you don't know who's the wild card. It's a house full of people. And when I'm looking at this person to my left, they're like, they got this look on their face like, we should be cautious. So I'm like, all right. So now I look a little bit ahead of her. The door is right there. Now, mind you, in this apartment, the door is not normally there. The door is actually downstairs, but the door is up on this floor, bars, because I'm nice in this dream. So I'm looking at it. There's a bunch of bottle caps pinned on the door. I don't know why. The door is light brown though. It's not in real life. But it's like a bunch of, like, you know, the old Coca-Cola bottles with the twist off caps? It's a bunch of those. Maybe not Coca-Cola, a bunch of different ones. Like magnets on the door. And I'm just like, it's a steel door. And I'm like, that's odd. But I don't have any definition for bottle caps in dreams. But I noticed that. And right before the door closed, there's this dude. I'm not going to say their name, but they're famous. And they turn around, they call me by my nickname. Everybody called me back in the days. And they're like, yo, you know, like on some respect shit, like, yo, respect. You know what I'm saying? Looked at me like, respect. So again, I know I'm safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not only that, and put it this way, they're from Brooklyn. I'll say that. They're from Brooklyn. So that was another symbol, another hint for me. So now I'm looking at the person to my left of me again, remember? And I'm like, they're looking at me like we should be cautious, and I'm looking at them like we shouldn't be. Like we don't have no need to be. I know who they are. They know who I am. It's not one of those. You know what I'm saying? Plus, they all on their way out of the door. Dude was the last person on his way out of the door. He turned around and closed it, but he pieced me off before he left. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm looking at them like, and I got a feeling that I know why they were saying we need to be more cautious or whatever the case may be. Let's just say me and that person don't kick it like we used to. We don't vibe like we used to. You know what I mean? So that probably has something to do with it. Like, oh, let me throw him off. Think that he should be, you know, afraid or something like that. But it wasn't one of those. Plus, the objective was complete. I just wanted everybody to go home. You understand? I'm looking for the girl of my dreams and her daughter. Like, I'm sealing shit off. You know what I'm saying? So for all of them to be gone and for Buddha to calm my ass down, I'm like, yo, we good. You know, so I'm just like, but she, the person that I said we don't vibe with like that no more, she do one of these and turns up the music and points at the door. Now the door is closed now. Remember, dude's last one on the way out. So I pause and I look at her. I look around totally. So I look around totally and I see the girl of my dreams is not there. The daughter's not there. So I'm like super cool about the whole situation now because they're not there. If worst case scenario happens, they shoot through the door or some shit like that, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? As long as they ain't there. So I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because of the relationship that I felt, the vibe that I felt with dude who walked out. So I walked past the door. You know what I'm saying? It's like when I walked past the door, Shorty disappeared, Buddha disappears. Whoever else was in the house with us when the dream shifted, they disappeared. Everybody disappeared. So now I'm going into the room that's at like the front of this apartment, right? And I go to lay in the bed. So I lay down in the bed, right? And all of a sudden I feel something behind me. It's the girl of my dreams. She just pops up out of nowhere. Out of no fucking where. But it's like, I guess you can understand why. I'm trying to understand why as well. It's just like, they weren't around for that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I guess it was a test to me to see how I would respond in a situation like that. Or, you know, where my mentality was when it came to stuff like that. Again, right, the crayons of the obligation or the responsibility, the more, what role do I play as far as relationships go and stuff like that. So I feel like I passed the test. I feel like I did my thing, you know what I mean? But, so Shorty, the girl of my dreams, she comes up into the bed behind me. She like spoons me from behind. I'm keeping it a bean, y'all. Like, real niggas know. Your chick will do that to you sometimes. I don't give a fuck how tough you are. Your girl will spoon you from the back sometimes. And usually that means they want some dick. Or they just want to cuddle and fucking spoon. But she was doing it in an apologetic type of way. Like, I might have been upset maybe that she had left. But that is not true. Like, I'm glad that she left. I'm glad for whatever subconscious reason that she was not there. That they were not there. You understand what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't even entertain a crowd like that in my abode like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm more mature now. So I wasn't upset, but maybe she thought for whatever reason, I don't know, for whatever reason she was just being in an apologetic manner. So she's like hugging me from behind or whatever the case may be. And then she said, she goes in my ear and she says, I know about them fucking other kids that you got upstairs. So I do one of these. I'm like, who the fuck told you that? I said, who are you talking to? Not like, who is she talking to? Like, who are you talking to me? I'm like, who outside of us are you talking to? Who's feeding you this information? I don't have any other kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not for nothing, there's no more upstairs level in this apartment either. We're at the very top floor. So I don't know, maybe that's some like symbolic or something else. I don't know. But I was just keeping it a beam with her. I'm like, yo, who the fuck? I don't have no. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, okay. And then she's still holding on to me though. You know what I'm saying? And then she whispers in my ear again. She's like, don't ever. She's like, how she said it? She said, and don't you ever play about me or my fucking daughter. Straight like that. Yo, to me, that shit is cute. I don't know. Maybe it's something wrong with me. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm keeping it a beam with y'all. Y'all know I keep it a beam with y'all. But when I heard those words, I was just like, okay. She was serious, though. Like, the tone of her voice. And she's in my ear with both of these things that she said to me. Like, she wanted me to hear these things very specifically. And this dream was, like, gapped out. Like, I ain't dreaming about it for a few nights. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it was this. But these are the last things that I heard from her. She was like, don't ever fucking play with me or my daughter. So this goes back to the seriousness and the obligations, the role I play from the definitions that I gave earlier about the symbols in the dream. So I was like, I don't even think I said anything back. You know what I mean? I was just still facing this way. She's behind me, still holding on to me like she love a nigga. But she was just stating her case. All right, so I'm just like cool as a fan about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Again, me, I think that shit is cute. So I'm just like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? In my head, I'm like, whatever. But yeah, bitch, this is cute. But, you know, it is what it is, right? I don't say nothing back to it, or I don't. Now, mind you, I smoke cigars sometimes, right? So I had a cigar before I fell out. And so this is like the exit part of the dream. I don't know if you ever seen Inception. It's like they do the kick, or they do certain things to get you on the exit way out of the dream. Sometimes you get 3-4 levels deep in the dream. You got to come up out of it. So I'm on my exit way out of the dream. And I start feeling just how dehydrated I am, because smoking a cigar can get you very dehydrated if you don't hydrate and eat properly before smoking. So I started feeling how dehydrated I was in the dream at that very moment. So it's weird. The profound things about dreams is just like when you need something, or you need to see something to guide the way, or to give you proof, or to give you insight on something, it just pops up out of no fucking way. So right as I'm feeling this dehydration, the girl in my dream, she's already like hugged up over me, got her arm around me, but she reaches over more to a refrigerator. So now there's a refrigerator on the side of us, like where a nightstand would be. There's a small refrigerator on the side of us. She opens it. She pulls out a sparkling water. You know, y'all ever seen Mystics? I don't know how old y'all are, but y'all ever seen Mystics when they first came out? They were sparkling waters at first, flavored sparkling waters, and they was in like the old Coke bottles. Maybe that's what the caps on the door were. But it was sparkling. It was like a sparkling Mystic. But they advanced. They changed their bottles to thicker bottles, and they turned it to juicy juice Mystics. The bottle was like that, but the inside liquid was sparkling water, and it was like a rose gold color. So she pulled it out and she was like, here, she cracked it open for me, you know what I'm saying? She was like, here, drink this. Oh, caring for a nigga and shit. I was just like, man, this bitch, man. But yo, so that was it. I woke up immediately after that. I was dehydrated as fuck. I got up and I got something to drink, and I'm just like, damn, this chick is, I don't know, man. I know, but I'm not saying. Put it that way. I know what I gotta do and all types of shit. Like, I gotta do what I've been knew I gotta do. But it's like, I don't know. I can't even really talk about it anymore. Get in the comment section. Maybe that'll, you know? Or maybe it's just into the next stream. I don't know. But until next time, I'm out.